Today on the Analog Circle podcast, Gears of War Reloaded can be played early on both Xbox and PlayStation. How is this possible, you may ask? Oh, we're definitely going to talk about it. The Switch 2 is already having a reoccurring problem that the original Switch had. What could this problem be? I'm pretty sure you can take a real good guess at it. If you are into the light gun genre of gaming, we have some pretty great news for you. Some device that you may want to put in your arsenal. And some new alleged leaks have come online discussing some features that will be in Grand Theft Auto 6. I think it's possible some of these are real, but some of these claims, I'm not too sure. But all of these stories can be found here and more in episode 260 of the Analog Circle podcast. I am your host, Keon Mitchell, and welcome to the show. Come on in, sit down and relax, because we're going to have a great conversation today. And if you're traveling, hopefully we can accompany you to your destination. Now, as always, if you do want to be a part of listener feedback to give your thoughts and opinions, you can do it two different ways. You can either call in at 667-284-9057 and let your voice literally be heard, or you can email the show, and the email address is theanalogcirclepodcast@gmail.com. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into what we all come here for, and that is the gaming news that went down. So let's get things started with the story that I got from PlayStation Lifestyle. So on Sunday, we got the trailer for Gears of War Reloaded, which was cool to see. I was happy to see it. Looks pretty good. Now, we know the game will release on August 26th, but if you want to get your hands on it early, both on Xbox and PlayStation, players will be able to do so by simply pre-ordering the title. Now, the beta will start on June 13th and end June 15th. After that, you'll have another opportunity to participate starting on June 20th to June 22nd. And for the first time, the game will be cross-platform, even in the beta, despite what platform you're on. So if you're on the PlayStation, the Xbox, or the PC, you will all be able to game together. Now, if you weren't aware, the game is going to be Gears of War Reloaded. It's going to cost $40. Now, it's also worth noting that these betas are going to start on those dates once on June 13th to the 15th, and then on June 20th until the 22nd. Those times are going to start at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm excited about this. I've beat the game quite a few times. I will not be getting it early because I'm not going online to get washed. That's not something that I'm going to do, but I was happy to see it. I was sad to see, well, I guess not to see Gears of War E-Day at the show, but it is what it is. I guess one Gears of War announcement isn't too bad if that's all you really got. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's get into the next story that I actually got from The Gamer. So the Switch 2 has officially released, and it should be a time of joy, time of excitement for early adopters of the platform. But sadly, it's sad. For one Switch 2 owner, that is not the case, because a Reddit user named, and this is his name, Nearly Crossing, posted a video of his left Joy-Con. God doggone, these Joy-Cons yet again at the same thing. He posted his left Joy-Con doing the infamous stick drift shift. Not even 1 week after the console launch. Dog, Nintendo. These jokers didn't waste any time going back to their old ways. Here it is. He couldn't even get through a full week with the Switch 2 without the drift shift happening, or stick drift happening all over again. Now, the thing is that Nintendo, they are aware of this, and the thing is also, before I even get into that, I'm not trying to blow this out of control, because we know that with any new console, there will unfortunately be some that will come with defects. But the only thing about this problem is this is reoccurring. This is a reoccurring situation that was going on last generation. So the only thing we can hope for is that Nintendo gets a hold on this, which I don't know how they're going to do this, because somebody actually did a breakdown of their Switch 2 Joy-Con, and they found out that it is pretty much just like the first one. So I don't know how this is going to be solved. The only thing that I can tell you guys is Nintendo, like I said, they're aware of this, and they are giving out free replacements via their repair website. So if you are a person who has your Switch 2 and you've been enjoying it for a little while, and all of a sudden you start getting that stick drift shift, give them a call. They'll get you one out. I don't know how long it's going to take. Probably take 2 weeks. Who knows? Amazon is a thing now. So it's just unfortunate, though. I was hoping that this would have been a situation that would have been solved in this generation, something that none of us would have to go through. Now, I'm going to say, to be honest and fair here, I never had stick drift. I never got it. Now, could it be that it was because I never played my Switch? I hardly played the thing, and it sat dormant for most of the days that I've had it, and years. For the most part, maybe that has something to do with it. But even when I would play, and sometimes I would play for a couple of hours, I never had any problems with the Joy-Con. So I'm sure that there will be some Switches out there where that will be the case. You'll get it, be able to bring it home. You're not going to have to worry about the stick drift shift happening to you, and you'll be able to enjoy your Zeldas, your Marios, your Kirbys, your Mario Kart racing, whatever may have you. I'm sure there are going to be quite a few. I would hope it would be quite a few models out there that would give you this kind of, these kind of results. But I mean, only time will tell. And this is so funny. This is so interesting, because Nintendo must have known that this was going to be a problem, because y'all remember just a few weeks ago, we talked about Nintendo trying to get people to sign, not trying, but you have to sign that, virtually sign it. When you're signing into your console, say that I agree, with these terms, these rules and regulations. And one of those new terms is that Nintendo is making it so you cannot file a class action lawsuit against them. So here it is yet again, one of the main reasons why they actually had that class action lawsuit against them in the first place. It is reoccurring yet again. So this time it's even worse, because now you're going to have to go to Nintendo directly, hope that they'll give you a replacement, hope that they don't give you a hard time to replace something that is absolutely broken, and hope that they don't have to charge you for it. And how much are these Joy-Cons again? What are they asking for these things? Are these things like $90? Hold on, let me check that out. How much are Switch 2 Joy-Cons? Man, these jokers darn near $100? Are you kidding me?
Fool this man!
Almost $100, man. They got this joker. Hold on, man. Wait a second. Am I hallucinating? Hold on. Target $94.99. Nintendo Switch 2 Target, okay, $84.99. Oh, shucks, for just the light red one on the right side, they want $54. Nah, this can't be real. Hold on, man. Yeah, $94.99 for both left and right. And if you just want the left one, it's $54.99. Oh, shucks. God dog, Nintendo. How the heck you going to charge premium prices for something that's breaking not even a week out of the doggone gate, man? Y'all are wilding for that one. Anyway, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this again. If you do have a Switch 2 and you're having these problems, make sure that you reach out to Nintendo online, because again, they are giving these things out for free as replacements. But it's no telling how long they're going to do this. Y'all know Nintendo ain't trying to give you nothing for free. So jump on this while you can. Let's go ahead and let's get into the next story, though, guys, that I got from GameSpot. So one of my games I'm really looking forward to is the Dark Pictures Directive 8020. And the reason why is because if y'all know me, I'm into those heavy story-driven games that give you choices about what actions you can make and seeing the different outcomes of your decisions, like a game like The Wolf Among Us or Detroit Become Human, and even Mass Effect for that matter. Different things that you did in Mass Effect and how it affected people. But that Detroit Become Human was serious. Absolutely loved that game. But you add that along with a horror element to it, like this game, Directive 8020, I am sold. Now, Directive 8020 is doing something quite different from these previous games that I had mentioned. Now, they're actually adding this multiplayer element to the game with a twist to it. So even though I've never played the game Among Us, the player knows their role in that game. They know that they may want to hide or deceive the players. Whereas in the game, the Directive 8020, a player could be controlling an alien that is in human form, and they would never know it. So I know that sounds a little discombobulated, but let me give you an example, okay? A choice could come up where another human-controlled player could say, I don't trust you, and I want to kill your character off because I think that you're setting me up for something. Now, the thing is, that person that is actually playing that other character that you're talking about, you want to take out of there because you don't trust them, the person controlling that other player or character would be like, wait a minute, no, don't kill me. The character I have, he's human. Why would you try to off me? We're working together. You see that we're able to get these different tasks done together. Why would you want to take me out of here? No, don't do that. And if you can convince the other player to save or spare your virtual self, the character that you're playing as, it could come up at a time in the game where that same character that actually spared your character's life could actually end up being the alien, bite their face off, kill the other character, and you would never, ever know it until it's too late. Y'all could be working together. The way they described it is so interesting. Now, this kind of multiplayer game, I think I could get into this, because if you're playing as the enemy and you don't know it, could you imagine? I'm just imagining the different possibilities, the conversations that would be had from one player to the next. Say, I don't know, your character kind of twitching a little bit, making me a little nervous. I think we might have to get you up out of here. And the whole time, the other person's, come on, man, I've been working. Everything's been going great until the end. And all of a sudden, you were playing as the enemy the whole time. And the person controlling that character never knew it until the end. That's just a dope twist. I'm really, really interested in seeing the different playthroughs of this. Like I said, if it's any game that could convince me to get at least a month of, PlayStation Plus just to enjoy the online element of the game, this would probably be it. So I am very, very excited. Oh, and by the way, fret, don't fear or fret. This game is also single player as well. So if you're a single player gamer like myself, this game is still that, but they're just adding that element of multiplayer to it. And like I said, a twist that I've never seen before. So I'm very interested in this game, very excited about this game. I don't know if it's going to be a full price game, but if it is under the Dark Pictures label, which it seems to be, those usually aren't full price games. Matter of fact, let's see if we do have a price point on this real quick. Let's see if I can find something on it. How much is the derivative 8020? No, oh shucks, it's doing mathematics. Hold on, I ain't asked for all of that. How much does the video game derivative 8020 cost? I'm going to see if I can come up with a price or if they can. Let's see. It's in the Dark Pictures, coming out October 2nd. Let's see if I can find some pictures, because I don't think it's going to be a full priced game. I don't think so. I can't find anything on it, though. So maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't think so. But like I said, October 2nd is coming up very, very soon. And we'll all be able to find out together. Yeah, okay. Yeah, what is the cost? Nope, doesn't say. Anyway, we're not going to waste any more time on that. This game looks great. Very, very, very interesting concept. But let's get on into the next story that I got from Tech Spot. So if any of you are in my age range, I mean, by the way, I'm 46. So if you're in my age range, 46 to 56, somewhere around there, then you remember games like Mad Dog McCree, Virtual Cop, House of the Living Dead. Shucks, we can even take it to Duck Hunt. And of course, all of those games fall under one genre, and that is the light gun shooter. So that actually, you know what, to think about it, the light gun shooter may be one of the oldest genres in gaming, but we haven't seen it in a long time, mainly because CRTs aren't a thing. You know, back then, back in the day, they would use the infrared lights and the photo sensors to calculate a player's aim when they, pulled the trigger of the gun. But now, just bringing this thing full circle, it's a company called Tessie Dinky. It's spelled TASSEIDENKI. Dinky Co. is preparing to launch a Kickstarter campaign for a plug-and-play light gun that supports modern displays and will come pre-installed. And this is a classic. It's going to come pre-installed with Time Crisis. Now, the interesting thing about this is the gun doesn't rely on a console or PC. Instead, it will ship plugged into a box that connects to a TV. So they will have two different packages. Now, the first package is going to be $90, and it's going to come with the arcade version of Time Crisis. Now, that seems cool, but for just a bit more money, you get quite a bit more bang for your buck. So for $120, you will that's going to come with Point Blank, Steel Gunner 1 and 2, a foot pedal to take cover, and it's going to come with Time Crisis. So just for an extra, $30, you get that much more. I think that's a much, much better package. And I remember that pedal. I had Time Crisis back in the day on the PlayStation, and it never came with the pedal, but it had the red button on the side that you used to have to push in order to have your character duck down for cover. Even back then, we were playing cover-based shooters and didn't even know it. God, dog. But yeah, Time Crisis was dope. But, just wrapping this up. So the thing is, usually I wouldn't talk about any Kickstarters or anything like that. Those are always dicey. But just the fact that this company has the backing of a company like Namco that's actually giving them, the license to use these games, I have to say that has to count for something. So that kind of gives me a little bit more positivity on this, that this will come to fruition. Now, the launch dates for the Kickstarter and the device itself, it does remain unclear, but availability is expected to begin this fall in time for the classic arcade games 30th anniversary, which is a Time Crisis. So yeah, I thought this was very, very interesting because again, you don't need a console for this. It's going to come with its own box. You're going to be able to hook it up from that box, be able to aim it at your flat screen TV with whatever, I'm all tongue tied, with whatever technology is going to be in there, some kind of AI that they're saying is going to be present in there. So it's going to be able to detect your screen and the movement of the gun and, to make sure that it has the fire rate and all of that stuff aiming, right at the different, objects on the screen. So I am very, very interested in this. And then thinking about technology today. Now, back then, when I'm talking about peripherals, brothers, we had none of this kind of feedback or anything like that. The driving wheels back during the PlayStation days, the Mad Catz joints, oh, brother, they were cheap. Oh, they were cheap. I remember I got one. I think I got one for Cruising USA or something. It was some kind of offshoot game. Well, Cruising USA isn't an offshoot game, but it wasn't really a game that I was playing like that. But I was about 17 at the time. I wanted to drive something, so I was like, shucks, let me pick up this steering wheel. It was so cheap. I picked it up, man. I was over my buddy's house. Shout out to Mark and Renard. I was up their house. Man, we darn near broke that thing in like 20 minutes. The handle, the wheel was so brittle. Oh man, it was so cheaply made. I took it back the same day. I said, I can't roll with this. Man, this thing is gonna break. In no time, had the gas pedal and all of that stuff, but no haptic feedback. But you fast forward to today, and the technology that we have inside of these peripherals. Now I have a Thrustmaster wheel, which to be fair, brothers and sisters, I ain't opened it up yet. I had that thing for like 5 or 6 years. It's still in the doggone box, and I ain't, oh, shucks. Darn. Listen, man, I ain't get around to it, okay? I was trying to get it for the series. Man, I wasn't trying to get it for no Series X. I'm lying like a mug. I thought I was going to be playing Forza with it, but I ended up not playing with it at all. So it was kind of like a waste of money, but still in the box, brand new. But what I was getting to is the haptics. That thing based off of YouTube videos I've seen, because I haven't opened it. Man, that thing has a ton of force feedback. I mean, this rocking and, when you're trying to steer the wheel and whatnot, they talking about you can feel the tires gripping and all of that stuff. That stuff was a dream back in the late 90s and the early 2000s, so I'm just imagining with a light gun. Back in the arcade, they even felt different versus the ones at home. Sure, they cost so much more back then. But just imagine a light gun today that actually has force feedback, a kick to it, where man, I always be getting so excited, man, be getting tongue tied and up here, doggone stuttering and whatnot. But I'm just imagining that when you shoot the gun, boom, and you could actually feel the recoil inside of it. Now, I don't know if they're going to do that. I might be going too far, with thinking that they're going to put that kind of technology in there. But if I'm not mistaken, there are some guns out there, light guns, that actually do have that mechanic. So I'm just thinking of it from the standpoint of, imagine how much better that's if they do it this way. And for $120, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it for that cheap. But I'm just trying to paint the best case scenario picture. Imagine if they had a gun where it had recoil to it, and every time you shot, you felt the gun jump or, have some kind of kickback to it. That would be dope. But nonetheless, this will be coming out. Again, there is no exact date. They're just talking about the fall. is when it'll be available to jump in with the Kickstarter and things of that nature. And again, with Namco being behind it, I have high hopes for this one, but we will see what happens in the future. Let's go ahead and let's get into the next story, brothers and sisters, that I got from Rockstar Intel. Now, we got to start this off with a little bit of rumors.
Rumor has it is something that only I know.
Now, I feel like I might have discussed this already, so I'll keep this brief. But according to a pretty reliable insider, and this guy is Nate the Hate. Y'all know we have been covering his so-called rumors for quite a while now. And Nate actually, even though not a perfect track record, he has a pretty solid track record where if he says something, you can kind of take it, you can take it more than just at face value, but that it could have some weight to it. So that's the only reason why I'm mentioning this. But according to him, Nate the Hate, Red Dead Redemption 2 is getting a next gen, or should I say, we always say next gen, current gen upgrade later this fall. Now, hopefully this is true because the game, if they were to do a current gen upgrade, that would bring the game up to 60 frames per second. It'd be a higher resolution, faster loading times. Oh my gosh. Do y'all remember those loading times in Red Dead 2? Oh man, go and make you a sandwich or something. It took so long back then, for the gaming world to load, and you just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm just imagining with the PlayStation 5, with the Series X, having the SSD in them that runs the game so much faster that I can only imagine that we would be waiting seconds to actually get the game to come up. And this is something I would love to see come out because I am looking for a reason to actually play Red Dead Redemption 2 again. I really, really enjoyed it. Even though those first couple of hours, it was a slog fest. It took a while. Red Dead Redemption 2 and Days Gone. Those two games at the beginning, they both have that in common. They are slow to get started. But once they get going, man, goodness gracious, they are incredible. And I'll say this, just going back to Days Gone just for a minute, I don't think that game gets the respect. I mean, the absolute respect on its name that it deserves. That game has done something that I don't even think people give it enough credit for. That is an open world game. Okay. I mean, it's set apocalyptic, all kind of freakers and whatever you want to call them. You want to call them zombies, whatever the case may be. You're up against the ropes in this game. You got different animals you got to fight against and all of that stuff. So you're in an open world on this motorcycle, getting it. And when you upgrade it to a certain level, oh man, that bike feels so doggone good. That you're out there in the wilderness and you're literally able to go into every house, every building that I saw on the map. I was able to jump through the window. I was able to go through the front door. Some of them were locked. Now, don't get me wrong. Okay, let me put that caveat out there. Some places they're locked. You got to find the keys. You got to turn on the electricity, things of that nature. But if it was a house that was open, a window was cracked and you could jump through it, man, I was jumping through so many different buildings and they had upstairs. They had upstairs to them. Where it wasn't just the ground floor, but you could actually go up to the second floor, get out of the second floor by going out the window, of the second floor and hop back down and get up out of the building. That is something that I have never seen in gaming where you have that many options to go into different buildings. And it's interesting because we got a story coming up a little bit later where we're going to be discussing some buildings and being able to get into them. But from that perspective, Sony Ben truly did something amazing. And it pains me to know that Sony laid off 30, god doggone 30% of the daggone staff they laid off.
You big dummy.
I don't know how the world you do that. 30% is gone. So, good grief. We'll see what happens with Sony Bend and all of that good stuff. But just know, just getting back to the point, because I did go off on a tangent, pardon me, deep into the sea. But hopefully, Red Dead Redemption 2 will be getting a fall release, because I would definitely pick that up. Let's go ahead, though, guys, and let's get into the next story that I got from Insider Gaming. Oh, man, we got to circle back to some more Gears of War news. But this time, let's talk about E-Day, because that's what we all want to know about. Well, at least some of us. So during a segment updating on the future releases, Phil Spencer said the game is scheduled. This is Gears of War E-Day, that the game is scheduled to release sometime in 2026. Now, he didn't get specific about, what season it's going to be, let alone what month it's going to come out in. But at least, even though he didn't drop any of that knowledge, at least we know that the game is coming sometime in 2026. Hopefully, because, this is the thing. Hopefully it's coming out in 2026, because we do know that during gaming development, video game development gets hard. Sometimes they fall behind, and it doesn't actually come out when they say it's supposed to. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. So hopefully Gears of War E-Day will come out in 2026, like Phil Spencer said. Matter of fact, didn't Phil Spencer also say, now that I'm thinking about it, he said the next Forza, I believe, is also releasing in 2026, which, thinking about that for just 1 minute, that just makes me wonder just that much more as to why didn't you show them at the Xbox show? Now, this is the thing. I can tell you guys exactly. If y'all didn't hear the episode where I was going over the Xbox Showcase live, that's fine, not a problem. But this is the reason why I gave that show a 7 to a 7.5. And I feel like I'm being real generous with that 7.5. But the reason why is because we didn't see anything from Hideo Kojima with the OD game. We didn't get any more news about State of Decay 3. We didn't get any release date on when Fable is coming. Again, Gears of War, E-Day wasn't there. We didn't get anything on Collateral again for like the 4th year in a row. It was just way too many games that I wanted to see, that I wanted to hear release dates for, that they never addressed. And that was why I was like, man, this show was average. I gave it about the same score as PlayStation State of Play, which that was that was about like a 7, being generous, 7.5 or so. I feel pretty good about giving it that score. But that was why I didn't give the Xbox show a higher grade, because they had too many games that I wanted to know about, waiting out there. Darn, we didn't even see Project Mora, the game by Ninja Theory, and they teased it. They even teased that they were doing something with the game by blurring out the TV screen, making it seem like they were going to be there, and they weren't. So it's just way too many projects that got zero shine, not even mentioned. Well, I was like, yeah, this was just an average show, so just wanted to go down a little down memory lane just to clear that up in case some of you guys didn't listen to that episode, which is absolutely fine. But again, Gears of War E-Day coming out next year. Who knows when? Hopefully it'll be great. I got a feeling it's going to be amazing. I really, really do. But let's go ahead and let's get into the next story, guys, that I got from IGN. So during the Xbox Showcase, seeing Call of Duty Black Ops 7, it felt different. God dog, to be honest with you, it felt underwhelming. I mean, I felt like, why is this such a big reveal? I mean, we get this every year. I mean, this is no different than Madden, NFL, not NFL, but Madden, NBA 2K, soccer, or pardon me, football. I mean, doggone, we know this is coming. I mean, shucks, we see you. We already know where you are. You're going to come out sometime in November, maybe October, who knows? But we know you're coming out this year. So when they showed the game off, I was like, man, this was a waste of time. Now, the thing is, it could have been, it was actually, it ain't no could have been in it. It was actually a reason behind this kind of approach. So according to Activision marketing chief Tyler Bahl, which is spelled B-A-H-L, feel like I pronounced that wrong, pardon me, but that brother, he said, and I quote, "Usually at this point in time, we would have teased everything that's coming out. And I think in a lot of ways, we're setting this up more like a Beyonce album dropping." Oh, you don't say, brother. He says nobody's going to know about it or nobody's going to see it coming. Now, God, dog, now I got to tell you, brother, I don't know who didn't or never thought that Call of Duty wasn't coming out this year. I mean, we can see it miles away that it's coming out. So I don't know where the brother's gone with that one. You ain't going to see it coming. Oh, brother. Let me continue with this man's quote. He said the whole goal was to really do something different and for us to zag and show up in a unique way. And one way of doing that is almost not doing any pre-promotion and giving it to players in a really unexpected way. End of quote. Let me ask y'all, brothers, did any of you feel like they did their ones and twos where you were like, whoa, Call of Duty, oh my gosh. I mean, goodness gracious, did any of y'all feel like they did their job? Because I just don't.
What did he say?
I just don't get it. I don't get it. We see this game every year like clockwork. And you thought all of a sudden, oh, guess what? We're going to present it this year a little different. Oh, it's going to blow. Man, listen, we about to put this thing up on the stage at the end of the show. Oh, my gosh, that's going to blow their minds. That's going to blow everybody away. I ain't going to see this coming. Oh, man, secret mission indeed. Shucks, man. I said, wow. So we'll see what happens with this. Am I interested in Call of Duty? Call of Duty is hit and miss for me. I have nothing against Call of Duty. The Call of Duties that I've played have been awesome. I'm talking about going all the way back to 360 with, what was that, Call of Duty 2? I think that was Call of Duty 2. To Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, to Black Ops. I've played quite a few of them. Not all of them. I mean, I've skipped out on quite a few years of Call of Duties. But, matter of fact, I skipped last year's and I heard that one was actually pretty good. But I'm not really excited about this because it's Call of Duty. I mean, you could have took that time and showed Collateral off or something. I mean, show us something that we had not seen or didn't expect, even though I was expecting to see something on Collateral, but at least ended in a better way. That show, that Xbox show, I can tell y'all, man, PTSD is real with me when it comes to these Xbox shows, man. They start showing them little doggone Mickey Mouse type games. Oh, man, my hands start getting to trembling. My doggone brow starts sweating and whatnot. I'm like, oh, gosh, man, they getting ready to go back into their old ways. Oh, shucks. I started really, really getting worried about that show. It never slipped off a cliff. I will say that. Never completely fell off the cliff. Definitely got close to the edge a couple of times. I was like, oh, my gosh, why are y'all showing this off? But they never lost total control of the doggone vehicle. So I give them that. Definitely not their worst show. Not at all. But a far cry from last year's, not even close to what that show was. So Call of Duty is coming this year, man. Who the heck knew? Let me know your thoughts on that. But let's go ahead, though, guys, and let's get into the next story. And matter of fact, it is the final story for this episode that I actually got from the Game Post. Now, I got to say, this is big time rumors.
Rumor has it there's something that only I know.
Yeah, this is a lot right here to unpack about Grand Theft Auto 6. So some new leaks, let's just start from the beginning. Some new leaks have surfaced online by Twitter user Game Roll. Now, I got to tell y'all, I'm not too familiar at all with this guy. But in the past, now this is the only thing that may give this guy just a little bit of validity to what he's saying. So Game Roll, this is a new dude, never heard of him. But to his credit, he did reveal the two main characters' names, which are both, Lucia and Jason, before Rockstar's announcement of those characters. So he gets some brownie points there, but still, I'm telling y'all, take all of this stuff with a mustard seed of truth. I'm going to tell you this off top. I want this stuff to be true, but we've been misled many times when it comes to these rumors. So again, take it with a mustard seed of truth. So what he claims is there are over 700 stores. This joker said it is over 700 stores that players can enter and rob, as well as their functional, as well as there being functional malls you can visit and use. So it is this brother saying 700 stores. You either go in there, get some gas, get some chips, get a soda. You can turn around, put the bandana on and say, give up the money smooth, brother. I need that for my mortgage this month. Give it up. You can have that option at 700 different stores to be able to do that. Entering into each one of these stores, that's crazy. That is amazing. And that's what I was getting at with Days Gone. Days Gone has already done it. So with Rockstar doing the same thing, allegedly having you be able to enter over 700 stores and rob them. God, dog, give it up smooth. Ain't no telling when up there for a jack move. Anyway, dog, on the shugs. You'll be able to do that. Now, the other thing you'll be able to do is, like I said, like he said, there's going to be functional malls that you can visit and use. So instead of going to these different corner stores, getting your ammo or getting some clothes, getting a suit, some shoes or whatever, you can actually go up in this mall, walk around. Golly, can you imagine how big some of these malls may be? You'll be able to walk around, get some shoes. Man, heck, man, they might even have a pet store there where you can get some. Oh, shucks. Y'all remember we saw that snake in the trailer. Who knows? Maybe you can get snakes out of the mall, get some fish, kind of get up your fish collection, get some fish tanks and things of that nature. I mean, this could really go some places if it is real. So being able to go into the malls, visit them, and use some of the things in there as well. Now, he also claims the game will feature 5-story chapters. Now, I've never known Grand Theft Auto to be broken down into chapters before, and if they were, I never noticed. It just seemed like it was a steady flow of different missions. I don't remember chapters being a thing, but he's saying it's going to be 5-story chapters, and players will be able to control either Lucia or Jason or both at the same time by using a new character switch wheel mechanic. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not trying to be two brothers in this game. Now, what I mean by that, some of y'all might be familiar with that game, Two Brothers, where you could control both of them at once. I'm not doing that, and this doesn't seem to make sense to me. I don't know much about that. I don't know why anybody would want to control Lucia and Jason at the same time. Being able to switch off at any time, that seems realistic enough because we've already seen that in Grand Theft Auto 5, where you could switch between 3 different characters at any given time, and they were all on different parts of the map depending on what they were doing that day. So that doesn't seem too far-fetched. I kind of believe that you'll be able to do that, but controlling them both at the same time, I don't know. I don't know what kind of mechanic that would be. But anyway, now Game Roll also said there will be no dual wielding, which I don't think that's a big deal. We haven't seen dual wielding since in a Grand Theft Auto game since San Andreas, I guess. Dual wielding has never been a thing in Grand Theft Auto 4 or Grand Theft Auto 5, so I don't think anybody would miss that. So he's saying no dual wielding. I know some people actually wanted that to be the case, but according to him, again, Game Roll, that's not going to happen. Now, he also said it's going to be no house burglaries. Yet again, I think that was something in San Andreas that you would be able to do, but not Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5. So that's not man, I don't know though. I mean, listen, in the virtual world, I would be, man, in a game like Grand Theft Auto 6, I would think that you would want to do that, especially taking place. And I mean, I know it's not Florida, but a place based off of Florida. Oh man, imagine the mansions and stuff you could get into and the stuff that you would be able to find. Pardon me. I think that would be nice, but he's saying no burglaries are going to be in the game. Now, this one I am very, very suspicious about. I don't know about this, but he said it's going to be no cover system. Now, I've only known Grand Theft Auto to have a cover system after 3. Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5. Cover systems have been kind of like a staple over the last few. So it not having a cover system, I don't know how that's going to work. I really don't know how that's going to work with shooting and things of that nature. Who knows? But like I said, take all of this with a mustard seed of truth. I would love to know if y'all believe these rumors too. But so that's going to happen. He also said you won't be able to go prone, which is, something I've never known Grand Theft Auto to be known for anyway. Now, let me speed this up. So, Game Roll did say, now, this joker, he went out there on a limb. Now, that brother said that it's going to be, for the first time, you're going to have some male entertainment up in the game. You know how it's always been female dancers, in Grand Theft. He's saying, man, God dog, yeah, the ladies, Lucia, you gonna be able to have yourself some fun, so yeah, they gonna be up in the game, won't be seeing them, but, it is what it is. Oh, man, it is what it is, man. Male dancers is on, they on call, according to, this brother, again, Game Roll, yeah. Hey, yo, man, Rockstar. Oh my goodness, man. Listen, hey, man, ladies need love too. Now, also virtual love, that is. Now, also to add to the Grand Theft Auto 6 rumor mill, it has always been rumors. Now, this goes all the way back quite a few years ago, but it has always been rumors that the game would take place in Cuba at some point in the game. But we never had any concrete info on this. And even now, the evidence that we have, it's not a whole lot to go off of, but it's at least a little more believable. So the reason why this came to be, as far as this rumor popping back up again, is because the tease, it was something that was teased in a screenshot, an official screenshot from Rockstar. Now, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, I got this story from Comic Book. So the screenshot is of Raul Bautista, who is a prominent secondary character in Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, the only thing we know about him is he's a seasoned bank robber. He's that joker that's going out there going to try to rob one of these 700 stores out here, if not all of them. So that's about the only thing we know about this guy. He's a bank robber, seasoned, been around doing his thing. But as far as the screenshot goes, he can be seen on a boat with a shot glass that has the Cuban flag on it. Now, I know y'all are like, good grief, now that's reaching to new heights as far as trying to figure out what's going on with the situation on whether or not you're going to be going to Cuba or not. Now, I mean, some people could say that's a possible coincidence, or some people may say, hey, maybe it is true. I mean, after all, since the game is taking place in, what is it, Leonida? I can never remember the fictional name of this Florida place, Leonida. Just the fact that it's taking place in a place based off of Florida, which is what Miami is around like 110 miles away from Cuba. So it's really not a far-fetched idea, especially with him being on the boat. And I mean, these cats going to be criminals. They going to be doing criminal activities. I don't know if they're going to be able to take an airplane over to Cuba, legally, especially if they on the run, they did a hit or whatever the case may be, or they're trying to get over there unknown, unseen, not known, or not known necessarily, not that, but that they don't want anybody to know that they're coming. They could definitely take Batista's boat 110 miles, get on over to Cuba, do what they got to do, take the boat back, and, do whatever activity they must, in order to complete the mission. So again, we don't know if this is going to happen or not. This is all rumors and speculation, but I'm curious to know what your thoughts are when it comes to these rumors. Anyway, that is the end of the gaming news this week, which brings us into our final section of the podcast where I have to ask you, the awesome listener out there, your opinion on this. So, and thank you guys for being here, by the way. It's always appreciated. But I want to know, look, it's been about a week, been over a week now since the Switch 2 has released. And I want to know, what's your Switch 2 verdict? Is it a buy? Is it a must buy? Is it a buy if you have the money? Or is it a wait till some more games come out? I'm curious to know, because there have been some reports that have said that certain games that said that they would be able to use HDR. HDR is not HDRing right now. It's not available. Games were supposed to be hitting 4K resolution. They're not hitting 4K. 60 frames per second. Haven't really heard too much about that. But the resolution and the HDR have definitely been things of a concern. Now, just backing the conversation up a little bit to the beginning, now you're having people having problems with the stick drift situation all over again that they just got out of, some people, last generation with the Switch. It's now showing its ugly head yet again for a brand new generation. It just started. So I'm curious to know, what's your Switch 2 verdict? If you would love to be a part of the conversation, or even like to be a part of the conversation, you can do it two different ways. You can either email the show, and the email address is theanalogcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Or if you don't feel like typing and you just want to call it in, you can easily do that as well by calling in at 667-284-9057 and let your voice be heard. I was your host, Keon Mitchell, and once again, thank you truly, truly, truly for being here. Thank y'all. So with that being said, until Sunday, when we do it again, until then, you guys take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.